Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boy, CryptoKeeper. How is everybody? Hopefully everybody is doing well today. It is, what is today? Is today Wednesday? I think today's Wednesday. It's Wednesday up in central Ohio, looking beautiful, getting towards the springtime. Love that. And really looking forward to what we have coming up with the show, with the channel, all the new things that are happening. I'm really excited. We're taking that next step forward. The bull run is happening, and we are making our move as the bull run happens. So stick around. You guys are going to see and be a part of a big change, as it were, with the Crypto Wars community. So smash the like if you haven't already. Make sure that you subscribe. Get involved. We want you to be involved. Get into the Discord, chat in there. Listen, we're doing our best trying to scramble and move and shake and do a bunch of different things. There's some really good people inside the Discord that are able to really give some good alpha. We talked about doing a whole bunch of different networks and bringing people in. We're still going to do that. Clay the Great's over there doing AVAX right now. We've got a couple other people we've talked to. We've just candidly been bogged down in the background with trying to make sure that Trading Wars this next season is going to go nuts, which it is. The start date is either the Monday after next or April 1st. One of those two, just confirming with the exchange right now. So be ready for that. We've got tons of names that you are going to know. And then the community is going to, each community of KOLs is going to compete against each other, because one of you from each community is going to come on the show the following season. And that is going to be absolute fire. So let me jump into the chat real quick and say hello. Well, let me first say hello to the man, the myth, the legend, BlockchainCrusader. What's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
You got your Satoshi hat on. Bitcoin, we'll talk about it in a minute, but I think Bitcoin's up over like 73 right now.
Is it back above 73 already?
I think so. We'll get into it in just a minute.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Let me jump into the chat real quick and say hello. Clay the Great says, call me Ray J, because I hit it first. That is fantastic. Puddles, hey, yo, what's going on? Crypto Pollo Cluck, glad to see you. Who else we got up in the house? Scrolling through, Mr. B. Hey, J2009, it's your world. Coin Operator, Crypto Wanderer. I'm going to mess this up, but Sabuj, Shaheb. Sorry about that. Hope you won't forget your word. Best of luck. What are you eating? What is that? A chip?
Sweet potato chips.
Are you a sweet potato fan?
Yeah, I like sweet potatoes.
You know?
And they're cooked in avocado oils. They're not inflammatory oils. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Crusader is the, not putting anything into my body that is anything other than natural. Kind of. You're pretty good about it. You're better than I am about it. And I like to do I like to do a lot of like organic. I eat good food, but I think you're better about it than even I am. You're looking at
my wife's really good about it. She's really, really good about it for
yeah.
So it definitely keeps me in line.
Well, I mean, think about it. Most of the things that happen in terms of sickness, if you really look into it, are from inflammation. The crazy thing is, and I've been doing this. I actually haven't done it in like 2 weeks now, but I started taking a cold. I would do my regular shower just to, do my thing. And then the last 30 seconds to a minute, I would turn that to ice cold and do that. And there's a lot of benefits. You've heard people talk about ice baths and whatever. You get such a dopamine increase from doing that. And ultimately all the heat that you're putting on your joints for the showers that we take daily literally create inflammation. Sometimes we're creating our own problems in our bodies. I mean, it's just a fact.
We'll get into crypto here in just a minute, guys. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the cold plunges. I was doing cold plunges for a while until my plunge thing, like my little tub thing, broke, and then I've been too lazy to go buy another one. But they are pretty cool. They also help you lose a lot of weight too. They help you burn all that brown fat.
Yeah, you definitely need that, fat ass. You know what I mean? You definitely got some weight issues.
I need some cushions for when I sit down on this desk all day and make content.
Chat, if you haven't smashed a like, make sure to do that. Dude, Friday. I'm excited about Friday. Print Token is sponsoring the show for Friday, so shout out to them. They have tokenized a bunch of mining assets, so that's pretty cool. So if you want to check that out, you can check out Print Token. We'll give you more information as we get closer to Friday. But $4,000 is on the line. So if you guys put in your super chats, what do you want to do today, dude, for super chats? We got to do something different. So yesterday, Yesterday we doubled up. As you guys can see across the bottom, if you don't know, every dollar you put in on a super chat, put your name on the wheel once, twice. We'll double that if you're a member, and then 3x if you gift. What do we want to do today? We want to get a little creative?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I like this comment here. It says food ASMR USDT stream. Trading.
Hey, listen, I've thought about this a lot. Sometimes on the show when it's just like fully like boom, 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 and there's no like just actual real deal conversation between us and the community and you and I or whatever, it can feel just kind of a little bit too scripted, man. I like to have some real conversations and bring the people in, because it's the people that are watching that need to need to be getting what they came for, which also is some personal stuff about us. What you got?
Yeah, the markets overall are pretty green today. Yesterday was kind of a wonky day. Some good news came out yesterday, or I should say maybe this morning, about Grayscale's slowing down their selling and BlackRock just picking up on the selling. So we're seeing a lot of good movement here from Algo, Quan, Jupiter, with Hat still freaking pumping. Overall markets are pretty green today. But let's jump over to the Bitcoin chart here real quick.
Before you do that,
what?
Can we do something real quick before you do that?
What?
Let's take a look at just real quick, because we always do it this way, and I just want to make sure everybody has seen what is popping in the actual overall market. Then I'll let you pull the actual chart on it. So the global crypto market cap is at, let me update it because it always does this to me. I think I'm going to start switching over to CoinGecko, I think, because this thing lags. Is that even right? Are we actually down right now? I don't even know if that's right. No, that can't be right. You see how this is doing this? You see what it's doing to me? Maybe you should be pushing your
we're up 3.3% today.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's literally showing a down 0.74%. Coin market cap does this. I need to switch to CoinGecko, I think. I can't even show it to you right now because it's continuing to stay at that. So go ahead, pull your chart, dude. We'll do this here in a couple minutes. I'll wait for it to click back over. My bad.
A second.
That's weird because it was just showing Bitcoin correct, and now there we go. Now it flipped. So freaking frustrating, dude. You want to see it or no?
Yeah, go ahead, pull it up.
Okay. All right. So we are at. Well, it still hasn't. I don't know. Maybe this is right. I don't know. But
just pull up my screen. It's not right. My screen is
because all this is right now. You see this? Yeah, pull yours.
All right, just bring mine up. So yeah, the market is up 3.3% today, sitting at $2.75 trillion market cap total. Bitcoin is up about almost 5%, 4.5% in the last 24 hours. Everything's pretty much in the green. Here in the top, practically everything. Bitcoin up 23%. We talked about that recently.
Go back to that real quick.
Back to
what's up? Yeah. So just because I was waiting for something to come out, I had jumped into Ton and have been holding it now because I just believe in what it's doing as the Telegram stuff. But dude, it's up 64% in the last 7 days. I think you heard it here first. We were at $2.70 when I bought that. Not even, I don't know, 5 days ago, less than a week ago. I think we're going to see $5 on Ton coin really quickly. And I think that you're going to continue to see that rise up the charts. Dude, it's number 12. And I've asked multiple people, even in the crypto space, about it. And until you say, oh, yeah, the Telegram token, they're like, Ton coin, what's that? And I'm telling you right now,
it hasn't had any real
meta. What's that?
Because it hasn't had any real utility or purpose for it. It's just one of those coins that came out with a really high market cap from the get-go. And it just kind of stuck around the top. But now with some meme coin stuff happening over there.
Yeah. One-click buys on Telegram and whatnot. So there's going to be a lot of utility there.
We got VChain and Caspa back to back here. VChain at the top, up 3.6% in 24 hours. Caspa was up 1.19. Let's see what else we got here. That's about it for that. Let's check out the 24-hour biggest gainer. See who that was. Dog with hat up 40%.
Dog with hat.
Ton coin 24%. Quant 16%. Jupiter 15%. Algorand 13%. Finally, Algorand people getting
AJ writes crypto is telling me that Algo is one of he's doing
one of his biggest holders is Algo.
Well, no, I know that, but I was talking to him a little bit before the show, and he said he's got like a video, or he's doing multiple videos where like 40 of the top 100 assets or whatever have a cup and handle pattern, and he's been going through that. And I will tell you that Algorand is one of them that has not broken out of that pattern yet, and it's like 40% from its measured move. And the other ones that he's been covering have all been hitting their measured move. So he was talking about Cardano, he was talking about Algorand, and one more. I want to say Immutable, but I don't know that for sure. So hold that one off. Algorand and Cardano are really in a good overall, in his thesis, buy situation. And he does really well with trading. So I think he's going to be on the next season of Trading Wars. So shout out to you, AJ Wrights Crypto. What else you got?
Let's see what else I got. Well, I have the TA chart here for Bitcoin. So pretty much real simple stuff, right? Yesterday we had that wick down to the previous all-time high, this yellow line, and it was like I said, if we were going to hold that as support and have a bounce from there, we're going to probably keep going up, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. Since yesterday, we've been slowly climbing back up. We wicked down to 71,000, no big deal, and then we're just slowly stepping up here. I mean, maybe we have some little bit of a downward pressure here, downward trend forming here like this, but at the end of the day, I've been saying it for a while now. It's an ETF game. Meanwhile, more buying is happening on the ETFs than selling. Bitcoin is going to continue moving upward, and I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that. I mean, not the problem, but I don't see that changing anytime soon. They know the halving is coming, and they're going to continue accumulating. I think Bitcoin's cycle could be broken here. The 4-year cycle theory, right? We could be headed into just a new, not price discovery, but I saw somebody talk about it and they made a really good statement saying Bitcoin's entering a repricing era where it's being repriced right now because of the amount of demand coming in. There's just unsustainable to keep it low. There's nothing that's going to dump the price of Bitcoin except for Grayscale unleashing a huge amount of their ETFs, right? And that's all dependent on the people that have been holding their ETF already to sell a bunch more. So unless BlackRock and Fidelity all start selling Bitcoin along with Grayscale, I think they're going to continue to eat up the supply, and Bitcoin is going to continue climbing up higher.
Yeah, I agree. And as that continues to happen, obviously the bull market surrounding that, plays off of that. We are seeing so much movement and money coming into these markets. I got a phone call last night from yesterday, two people. Good friend of mine who I've been talking to about crypto for years. You know that story, same song and dance. You've been telling them for years with the bear market, and they just don't, want to hear it. It's down. It's not hip. It's not cool, And then the second one is my sister, and her brother-in-law want to sit down and have a conversation with me. And I jokingly, just to poke the bear a little bit, I jokingly said, how much better of a position you'd have been in if you'd be listening to me at the dinner table on Sunday afternoon family dinners that I've been talking about for the last however many years, and we're going to see it. We are going to see a lot of people come into the space. Now, people just coming in, welcome. We're glad that you're here. There's going to be a lot of opportunity still. You are still early. I don't know how much longer you can say that, but you are still early in the grand scheme, I believe, of this bull run. That being said, a lot of the new people coming in, the only reason that they're here is FOMO. It is, oh my gosh, yes, crypto is the thing. Now, what does that mean? That means that you are primed for the pickings to be what we call exit liquidity. Don't be exit liquidity. Set a game plan forth, learn what it is you're doing, have a game plan, put it together, have an accountability partner, and make some freaking money. There's so much money to be made. I've been really diligent, Crusader, about taking profits and making myself do that on trades, on the meme coin stuff, just like on active stuff that I'm doing day in and day out. How are you doing with that? Because you and I have gone back and forth where I'm always telling you, take profits, do this, do that. And, it's always a thing. How have you been doing? Because I know you've been trading a lot more.
I haven't been trading that often since the last time we talked about trading. I haven't made another trade since.
Oh, you haven't in a few days, just because we're in price discovery zone, just kind of.
Yeah. Things are just so parabolic, rising so fast. It's hard to keep up with what's really happening. I'm looking. I've been trading Bitcoin for the majority of the time, but I'm thinking I'm just going to start switching into the altcoins because it's difficult to trade a Bitcoin here at all-time highs. You don't really know what's going on. All you have is pretty much the previous day ranges and stuff that are happening because there's no other historical data. And I know there's some Fibonacci retracements. I've seen CVLs and Magic stuff, right? Talking about 80,000 and 75,000 or whatever targets up there. But those are long-term swing trades. I'm not really much of a swing trader. I'm more of a day trader, so I just get in and out on the same day. So I'm going to be switching over to altcoins to start trading those, because those still got a lot of historical data that they haven't broken to new all-time highs, and make it a lot easier to day trade. But overall, I've been taking profits on little things here and there that I've jumped into in spot. Just like I jumped into a few things that popped off, and I've made sure to take profits on the way up and always leave a moon bag.
I've just heard too many horror stories. I've had my own miniature horror story. You and I, Crusader, share the one where I woke up the one morning early on something, and I was up like 20 something ETH, right? And all I did was took back my initial 1 or 2 ETH that I had put in or whatever. Went to the gym, came back later that day because we had been told it's going to go to this, and this, and you and I both had this exact same thing happen. And I think I only ended up like profiting maybe 1 Ethereum on that. And I was up like 23 Ethereum. I'm not willing to go through that again. A buddy of mine in our Telegram group was up. Shout out to you if you're in here. I'm not going to call you out, but was up like $3.5 million multiple times last market and did not pull profits. And it sounds crazy, right? But the reality is, so many people, they'll look at and compare, okay, well, this is the type of asset I'm in. He was talking about how he was in dog coins, right? And he compared it to all of the other dog coins at that point. And he should have been going 5, 6, 7, 10 more X from where he was at the 3.5K. He said he was daydreaming on the way to work about how much different life was going to be, right? And I feel for him, bro, because the reality is a lot of people do that. And so what I'm doing, and I'm making myself do it, because it is kind of hard, because greed kicks in and you do, think about, well, what if I need this, that, and the third. I am being very diligent about at least getting my initials back and having a bunch of moon bags, because there are going to be ones that are going to run, but there's also going to be a lot that you're going to lose that initial. How often can you lose your initial depending on how big it is, right? You need to be able to lose initials. But if you can take that back right off the rip or close to, that's kind of been more my game plan. How do you like that game plan? I know it takes away from the potential of the overall size of the bag that you can accumulate, but it also takes stress, risk, all of it right off. And I'm not doing it every time. If I'm gambling at all, that's what I'm doing. You like that? You hate that? What do you like to do?
Yeah, overall, whether gambling or not, obviously, the more risk on the asset, the more diligent you have to be about taking profits. But if you're double, triple up on wherever your initial position entered, definitely putting initials is very important. And then from there on out, I've just been dollar cost averaging out of my positions on the way up. And just whether it's 25%, 50% here, okay, we just doubled up overnight. Well, and I'm pulling out another 50%, letting it run. And just doing that, just securing profits. But once you've pulled out your initial, at least that gives you a 0% chance of losing money. You have 100% guaranteed yourself that you will not lose money. You can reinvest that initial into something else, and grow your portfolio, and at the same time let your profits ride. And at some point, take profits on those. And it's a moon bag, right? You just always leave a moon bag. Who knows how far it can go? Like you said, we're still early in this bull market. So it's definitely one of those things that people have to do. They have to pull out initials when they're already double, triple, quadruple, whatever. Net financial advice, do whatever you want. If you want to leave it in there, leave it in there. But don't end up like the Doge father, right? Where he was like multi-millionaire and he's like, I'm never selling Doge. And it's like, bro, that thing's not Bitcoin, bro. That thing will melt. And it did. It completely melted. So yeah,
I like this.
Definitely don't do that.
Keyword 1, meaning win. Take it, right? It's not that you have to do that every single time, but the overall average, if you are able to do that. So shout out to Larry, shout out to Syed. Like, they said something to me that really stuck with me, and it was really simple. I was like, man, what would you do in this position? And the response was, both of them, it's never a bad time to take profits, bro. It's just, the reality is we are trying to make money. We're not trying to dump a chart. We're not trying to, do anything drastic. What we're trying to do is work together for us all to be able to win as much as humanly possible, and to take some stress off your own plate. I think it's a good strategy. Some people say it's crazy, but I've also seen people that think that it's crazy that lost their ass. I'm just not willing to just flat out lose my ass. And so not all the time, but for the most part, if I think that it's any sort of a gamble, I am taking back that initial. If it's a call and we have some information and it's people that we know from the team, maybe a different conversation. Actually, probably a different conversation. But that's kind of my thoughts on that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you are enjoying the show today. Smash the likes. Make sure you put on the bell notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Don't just lurk. We don't need to be LARPing, okay? Get involved in the chat. Hey, also, we haven't even had a single super chat today. Super chats. We've got our show, Flipper Hodl, brought to you by Print Token on Friday. $4,000 on the line. That's right, 4K. Every dollar you put in is, boom, 1 entry. If you're a member, we'll 2x that. If you're a gifting member, 3x. We never decided what we were doing today. What's the special?
Well, we doubled it yesterday, just triple it today.
You want to triple it today? Well, then Clay the Great, shout out to Clay the Great, gifted 5 memberships earlier. Clay, I did not see it, bro. Shout out to you. Let me put you on the wheel. We're gonna triple it. So hold on a second. So he did 5 memberships.
5 memberships. Yep, 5 memberships. Triple that. Welcome the Escape the Matrix, Army Piper, Alexandra G, BG, and James G as new members of the show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
No, it's 45, Crusader. We were 3xing.
Yeah,
we're tripling that, so we're 9xing that.
Whatever the math is.
Clay the Great just snagged 45 spaces on the wheel with that. He said, I gifted 5 memberships earlier. Yes, sir. Thank you, Clay. We appreciate you. We love you. Crusader, before we dive into some stuff about ETH, maybe talk about some other tokens that we're looking at, maybe some more TA, maybe some crap coins, whatever. Oh, here we go. Crypto Pollo, $5 super chat said, givers gain. Crypto Pollo, I am putting you on the wheel. Crusader, you know what? We've got some new people in the chat. Do you want to briefly, I don't know if you're ready to or not. Do you want to briefly show the people part of what Flipper Hodl looks like, or you don't have it ready?
I got to pull it up. Give me like 2 minutes to pull it up.
No, okay. That's cool. Crypto Pollo, I got you. You are going, and Crypto Pollo is a member. So lots more slots on the wheel for that. All right, let me jump into the chat while you're pulling that up. We're going to show you Flipper Hodl if you guys haven't seen it. It's a mix between Deal or No Deal and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. We need to put in we've got questions in between, the Deal or No Deal, the cases, whatever. We'll show you all of that. But you got to be here. You got to be here. So Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're here. We've got Crypto Face coming on. So it is going to be a lit show. And like I said, brought to you by Print Token. They're the ones sponsoring the show on Friday. And 4K, $4,000 online. We've been giving away thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't know how more people don't know about it. That's just a fact, bro. I really don't. Like, we are giving away thousands and thousands of dollars every single week that we play. And as the bull run kicks, we're going to be playing at least once a week, it looks like. You know what I mean? So Brett Groenwig, good to see you, Brett. Brett's always been a G in the community. Brett's $10 super chat says, count me in, Brett. I got you. I am putting you on the wheel right now. And again, guys, make sure you're here on Friday so that we don't miss you. We want everybody to get their chance to win this money. Got you, Brett. And I think we got another super chat. Mark Dutch, another gainers give. He's flipping it on me. Mark Dutch, appreciate you, bro. Let me put that on real quick, and then I want to ask you something. What is your goal, Crusader, for? Do you have that pulled up, by the way?
It's loading.
Okay. What is your goal while that's loading? What is your goal for this bull run? For this bull run, this specific bull run.
For this bull run?
Yeah, like, is your goal, for example, to just straight up stack as much Bitcoin again as you can, and you're going to hold it through this next market? Is your goal to exit out of every single altcoin but still keep my Bitcoin? Is your goal to exit into fiat and then dump it all into Bitcoin? Like, what is your goal?
Yeah, so I definitely plan on selling all my altcoins. All my altcoins. When it comes to Ethereum, I think I'm only willing to sell about 50%. We'll see if that Ethereum ETF gets approved or not, and depending how that is, maybe only 25% of my bags for Ethereum. But everything else is going to go for sure. And then I'm just going to sit on cash, right? Live off of it for a little bit, and then wait for the market to come back down. And when the market comes back down, accumulate as much Bitcoin and Ethereum throughout the bear market with it. That's my goal.
I'm with you, bro. I'm big ETH bull and Bitcoin. Obviously, I have a very similar thought process as you. I am going to be exiting out of all of my altcoins besides ETH. I just am. I don't know that it's going to be the exact same markets as before, but what I do know is that Bitcoin and Ethereum long term are going to be a way to financial freedom. They're already getting me there, and so I'm just going to continue to do what has worked for me. So I'm excited about that. Crypto Crank $2 super chat says one for me and one for the pour one out for the homies. Crypto Crank, let me put you on here. Crypto Crank. We'll 3x that, brother, because today is the day. We're tripling up the super chats.
So this is the game right here. If you guys haven't ever seen it, it basically looks just like Deal or No Deal. The only twist is we go through 10 rounds of opening 5 cases at a time. You pick an initial case here, 1 through 48. You pick whatever case you want. That case gets held until the end of the game. And between every round that we open 5 cases, you're given a bank offer. You can take that and walk away, or if you decide to, you can hodl it, right? Or you can decide to flip it. And if you decide to flip it, you go into a bonus question round. You're asked a question. If you get that question right, you get a bonus added of about between 1 to 5% to your total at the end of the game. And we do that for 10 rounds until the last round. And then whatever's left on the table, right, is what you take home. Whatever case opens up last, if it's the 4,100, you take 4,100 home plus whatever percentage that you gained through those bonus round questions.
Yeah.
That's how the game works.
So for those of you that weren't here for it, the very first time we demoed the Crusader, run through one little round, just literally run through $5. So pick case 24. Okay, cool. You pick case 24. That's what we're keeping. Boom, 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 boom. And then $392 bank offer right off the rip. And then you continue. Then we would ask questions right after that for multipliers on a wheel. So they would be like pop culture questions, maybe some crypto stuff mixed in, maybe something about a new project that's supporting the show, whatever. But then bank offer again, ask questions for a multiplier on the wheel, and so on and so forth. And obviously, we're having fun with it the whole time, but these numbers get wild. And especially if you don't lose that 4,100 or 4,000, whatever it's going to be. Look at this, 462. It is just, oh, there went the 4,100. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. The math is going to go down to 308.
Not to 308.
And at any point, you can take the bank offer. We have had people take. Has anybody stopped early?
No one's ever stopped.
No one's ever stopped. We got a bunch of degens watching the show. They're like, hey, listen, I'm all or nothing. Okay, so we still got 1,200. Oh, this bank offer is going to suck. Yeah, this is a definitely bad round. We obviously would play this a lot different. Oh man.
Well, you don't you just choose random cases. Yeah, right now your best case you take home is $150 right now.
Oh no. Okay, what do you want to do, fam? Do you want to keep it or change it? The last one, you either keep the case that you have or you change it. It's either $150 or $95. This is the worst round that we've had since the first time we played, I think.
Probably.
Keeper. Keep it. Oof. Didn't even win on that. Didn't even win on that. Well, damn. So that's Flipper Hodl. Be here Friday so that we can run it and have some fun playing that. And like I said, win some print tokens because they are supporting and sponsoring the show. All right, let's talk about ETH, dude. Let's talk about ETH. Let's pull that off the screen. Denkun upgrade this morning. I think somebody on the stream asked, have we checked the gas fees? Well, for all my fellow degens that are maybe here from Telegram right now, have you guys checked the gas fees? Drop it in the chat. Let me know. Have you guys checked the gas fees to see if there's anything noticeable? Crusader, have you done anything on Ethereum this morning? Because I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Somebody was asking if that had happened. Let me show this right quick for those of you that don't know what happened. Just briefly, we talked about this yesterday too, but here it is. Boom. All right, EIP 4844. This improvement is set to usher in a new era of efficiency, propelling Ethereum's utility and accessibility to the next level by significantly reducing gas fees, especially on Starknet. What is it? How long can it change the game? Or how will it change the game? In essence, it introduces a novel concept known as blob transactions, which utilize a distinct blob resource separate from traditional gas. This segregation is revolutionary. It means that Ethereum users and roll-up operations no longer have to vie for the same network space, effectively decluttering the transactional highway and allowing for smoother, quicker, and cheaper transfers. I had a conversation earlier today about this Crusader with the gas fees, and that ETH is and will continue to be the meta in terms of the large scale, like meme coins, for example. How far? Okay, so there's gas fees that are, I mean, 70 to whatever, but 70 to 125 bucks right now is pretty common on some of these gas fees, okay, which is ridiculous. How low do you think that needs to get before people genuinely stop like bitching about the gas fees? How low would you think it need to get?
I would have to get ridiculously low. It would have to be even a $50 gas fee will still be having people complain, because they have these comparisons to other blockchains, to Matic, whatever it is, other blockchains that are way lower gas fees. But that's just never going to be realistic. Ethereum's never going to get down there. If you want to be on Ethereum, you're going to have to pay a heavy gas fee, whether it's $50 or $100 or whatever it is. It's always going to be more expensive than everything else. It's just, that's the way it was built.
You know what? You know what? I want to push back on something. I think it can be a really good thing. I think that in a lot of instances, there are, on different networks, on Solana, on some of the other, on AVAX, on what did I say? Solana, AVAX, on Matic. People that do not have any business getting in and out of some of these projects, that literally are trying to almost set others up to take the fall, to use you as exit liquidity. They'll do it on a place where it's very, very cheap to build, where it's very, very cheap to make moves. The reality is, when you do a project on the Ethereum blockchain, you are spending and investing money. Also, the people that are getting into these projects are spending and investing money. I don't know anybody that's just gonna, flippantly. I mean, a lot of people do this, but you don't just flippantly throw around $100 gas fees if you actually don't care and are just rolling dice, at least on a regular basis. What I'm saying is, a Matic thing comes out, a Matic play comes out, and well, I tossed my money in, and it's like 0.3 Matic, so it's like nothing effectively to run it. So I'll just try this. I'll try this. You're not doing that with ETH. You're not. You are absolutely not doing that with ETH. And so I think that it actually can be a good thing overall to see the actual real money in the space going into real deal projects.
I agree.
Yeah. So I think this just depends on how you look at it and what you're trying to get out of it. Obviously it still sucks. Nobody wants to pay it, but it can have its pluses and minuses. Kevin, shout out to Kevin Usman, said new people will think $25 gas fees to be crazy. They never experience the $100 fees. You know what? The $100 gas fees, Crusader, what do you think is the most you ever spent on a gas fee?
I think the most I ever spent was like close to like $300 on a gas fee.
Yeah, I think I've spent even maybe a little bit north of that, somewhere in the $300 to $400 range on a gas fee, which is absolutely bonkers, absolutely freaking bonkers.
Yeah, but in the bull market, it makes sense. The reason why things like that were happening in the previous bull market was like all these NFTs people were buying, they were minting an NFT right for 0.8 ETH. Throw in a $300 gas fee on top of that, and then they were turning around and within the next week or two selling those NFTs for multiple ETH at a time, right? That's why I paid that gas fee too, and was able to sell an NFT for like 3.5 ETH or something ridiculous like that. Yeah. So it made sense why people were doing it. The whole gas wars. Everybody was trying to front run each other to get in there and mint that NFT before someone else did, because it was the cheapest you can get the NFT, and then you could flip it real quick and make a ton of money on it.
You can change the delta on these sniper bots, and that's effectively changing. Hey, okay, if Gwei is 50, I want to add 50 Gwei to that, right? You can literally do that. And then they also have what's called, if you're trying to snipe, if you're trying to get the contract to be on the front end, they have what's called a bribe. and people are actively bribing on a project that they really want to get into first. Somebody bribed yesterday. I think I saw 2 Ethereum. So somebody bribed the network, bribed, right? 2 Ethereum. So it was like $8,000. But I think that same wallet turned around and sold 16 Ethereum as per, making that happen. So the two for 16, I'll take that trade every time. I think somebody in the chat said that. 2 for 16, I'll do it every freaking time. And so, yeah, it's there. It's a reality. It's part of the intricacies of knowing what you're getting into, when you're getting into it, how to buy, when to buy, what to do, what not to do. It's a whole nother world, What's on your thought process? What's on your mind as it comes to overall? We said dog with hat was up 360%, whatever. We've been talking about meme coins because they've run so far. Do you think that this is going to be a long-term thing for this run, or do you think this is going to be in waves?
Talking about the meme coins?
Do you think that they're just going to basically continue to just be
I think they'll have
silly?
waves. Yeah, I think you'll see the ones that currently exist have runs, right? The market continues running, you'll see them running. But like the frenzy of all these other like new meme coins coming in, I think that is going to come in waves at some point, and just they jump into different ecosystems because it's not sustainable. But just like how we'll have meme coin season, we'll have AI narrative popping off, then you have crypto gaming popping off, then you have metaverse, then you have DEX tokens or whatever other thing popping off. So I think it all comes in waves. They all slowly move as Bitcoin continues moving to the upside, but the big pop-offs, the big blast-offs do come in waves in different narratives.
And that's where patience pays off, just like it does with your blue chips. On the small cap stuff, you have to understand that's part of the reason we were talking about taking back initials, because there's a lot of times where you'll see these charts really bounce around, and if you're able to take initials on the front end when that huge drop happens, which inevitably, like a lot of times it will, you're not looking at it like, oh my gosh, I just lost my whole bag or almost my whole bag, and getting freaked out, and then you G'd out or whatever. And so you're able to withstand some of those movements. And I've seen projects that have been just absolutely just I mean, for months. There was one very recently, and I think it might have been one of the Trump coins, was just, like because it's a little bit older. It started before the meme coin craze really popped off. And then all of a sudden, boo, take off. And who knows, if and when it's coming back. And so you have to take that into consideration when you're investing in these things, just like with your blue chips, like with people who have sat on XRP for how long. You're just waiting for the boo, whether that's going to happen or not. You don't know for sure. You're hoping, you believe that it's going to happen, but you do not know that. So patience plays a huge part in the in the markets, period. Wouldn't you agree?
Check out this chat here. It says, explain entries. If we super chat $1,000, is it a guaranteed win?
let me think this through. So $1,000 win right now. If CryptoCrank
will be tripled.
Hold on. CryptoCrank is probably a member. Is CryptoCrank a member? If CryptoCrank were a member, $1,000 would give him 6,000 entries. There's other people's names on the wheel. I don't know how you would lose that way. I'm not suggesting you do that, because that's just absolute silliness. That's insanity.
But you have a very good chance. I mean, 6,000 entries.
But I'm sure you're gonna win. I mean, yeah. CryptoCrank said somebody needs to gift me a membership, or somebody could just gift 1,000 memberships. There you go. That's actually the banger of all payouts. That's 9,000 entries.
I don't think YouTube even allowed me to do that.
That's 9,000. They're like, wait a minute. There's less than 100 people in here. How am I going to let this guy gift out?
Yeah, that's the problem. There's not enough people in the chat.
Yeah, so Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, flip or hodl, guys. Make sure that you are here for it. It's going to be really exciting. Well, let me ask Crusader, what's the rest of your week look like? What are you looking for in the crypto space? Is there certain assets that you're looking for to take some profits on your original bags with us being at all-time highs? Is this just, sit, chill? Are you dollar cost averaging? What are you personally doing right now?
I'm just waiting for dips. That's mostly what I'm doing. I'm waiting for dips on things.
On blue chips?
Yeah, the Caspa dip that just happened recently, I bought some more. I'm not really taking any profits on any of my longer term holds right now, just because we're still early in the market. Bitcoin just crossed the all time high. You know, if that whole statistic about Bitcoin doubling up in 20 days or so does come to fruition, you know, altcoins are going to be a lot higher here in the next freaking 20, 30 days or whatever it is.
That would
So,
be silly.
but possible, right? But possible with the halving also about they're 35 days or 34 days away, but right around the same corner of this statistic saying 20 days, right? That statistic can run a little bit further. Maybe this time it's 30 something days or 40 something days for us to double up, you know, and the statistic will still be kind of true, just extend it out. Anything's possible. So I'm mostly just looking for dips, any dips that happen on any of the cryptos that I'm looking at. I'm looking through a list right now of cryptos that then I would go and just buy a small little bag of it. But I'm holding those long term. So later in the bull market, I'll be taking heavier profits on it, but not just yet.
We need to get you on some Toncoin, bro. I really think that thing's going to continue to do well because of how.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not in that group. I got kicked. I checked the other day.
You got kicked? Oh, because you weren't active.
I'm not there.
I'll say something. It's inactivity. They kick people if they're inactive. That's all. They don't want anybody LARPing. They want you to be actively engaged. So I'll ask them about it. You got to be engaged, my brother. Okay. So long term, I'm continuing to hold. I'm buying some dips. I obviously was just adding risk to my portfolio by all the craziness that I've been talking about that I've been doing, and that's a big part of what I am doing. What would you tell the person? We've got the people hitting us up. So for those of you that are new in the crypto space, we've got people hitting us up saying, hey, like, I'm really interested in crypto. Can you sit down with me? I know somebody that just got a really big bonus from their work, like a large bonus. It's like, hey, talk to me about what we could do with this in crypto. What would your overall overarching thesis be for somebody that's really never been in before, but just been watching, and now we're at $73,000 Bitcoin, trying to take money and put it into the markets? What would you tell that person?
Yeah, I've had a few of those phone calls and text messages, people reaching out to me on my personal Instagram that know me. They see me talking about crypto all the time. And I've told them exactly this, bro, like, this is not the time for you to go in. But if you're gonna go in, right, you have zero positions. There's still time to make money. You just need to be 100% aware that the position you're in right now contains a ton more risk than if you were in 6 months ago, right? 8 months ago. So just be aware that whatever you're buying in right now, however much capital it is that you're putting in, you need to keep some on the side for when the market has a retracement. You have to dollar cost average down your position because you're probably buying local highs on the majority of the stuff that you're buying, because there's tons of altcoins that are up multiple hundreds of percent, 200, 300, 400% in the last 60 days alone, even 30 days alone. So everything, even outside of Bitcoin, even outside of Ethereum, most of it is really, really high. So if you go into the stuff that hasn't had any major pumps, that is a lot lower market cap, then that contains a whole nother level of risk on its own as well. That, you know, it might not succeed, it might not go to as high as you think it is. So you have to be more aggressive on taking profits. So it's just overall arching theme is a lot more risk now. Still a lot of time to make money. Just have to be very aggressive about managing your portfolio moving forward if you're jumping into the market right now.
And I think it's even more than just not having the best entry. I think it's also you have no track record to go off of at all-time highs. You just don't, right? Now we're not hitting all-time highs with the alts, but we're hitting all-time highs with Bitcoin prior to the halving. Like, we have never seen a market like this. So it's not just the fact that, hey, you're buying in at a higher price point for the most part. Dude, there's still altcoins that are absolutely a steal for being Bitcoin. Think about something like, let's just say, VeChain. I love VeChain. The all-time high for VeChain was not too crazy long either. I think it was after probably after, not too crazy long after Bitcoin's all-time high, right? That was at like 26, 27 cents. It's at not even 5 cents right now. And Bitcoin is at and above its previous all-time high. There are a lot of value there. The problem being, though, you need to understand, you don't know how many, you'd have to look, but most people wouldn't know to check this. You don't know how many tokens were in circulation at the time that the last all-time high was. You don't know the other factors that play into what's happening with the, there's no guarantee. That's why we tell you, hey, you can't just go off of the old previous all-time high. You've got to go off of a lot more than that. And so I think the risk is that, hey, we're in an unknown position. We're at all-time highs. We've got, the alts not nearing their all-time highs for the most part. And we've never seen a bull market prior to the run, combined with, I don't know, would you say that we're in, they try like hell to tell you you're not in a recession, but our economy is not in a good spot. Let's put it that way. And we have all this. So we just haven't seen this. And so I think that there is just extra risk.
I think we're just entering, the greatest transfer of wealth that we've talked about for a long time. And to do that, there's gonna be pain. It's not gonna be all happy dandy. Think something needs to collapse so that the money can flow in from somewhere else, right? More money doesn't just get created. That's not where the money comes from. The money comes from somewhere else. And we're seeing banks right now being very wonky. NYCB, I think, crashed like 20-something% the other day. I don't know where they're at right now. Other bank stocks are also in the red. Inflation is still going up. They just announced another 3.2% increase on inflation that was not expected. And, how does that affect you? Grocery stores. Everything's a lot more expensive right now at grocery stores. We're the ones paying for the inflation. And, the interest rates are still high. They have to reduce the interest rates. If not, these banks are going to continue collapsing. And we're entering an election year. There's a lot of uncertainty around election years. What's going to happen? What's not going to happen? And, I think all of this is leading people like BlackRock and the ETFs to accumulate as much Bitcoin. We have to assume that they know more than anyone else, right? And if they are massively accumulating billions of dollars of Bitcoin every single day, every other day, or weekly, whatever, it is for a good reason, and it's because they know something's going to happen that most likely they're not going to lose, right? And so I don't think they've just launched this Bitcoin ETF, put all this money into it, and then in the next 6 months, Bitcoin's going to, and then it's going to be all over. Like, that doesn't make any sense. These people are long-term investors, and they want to dominate markets when they get in it to make sure that they win. So that being said, I just think they're getting prepared. I think they know that if anything does happen in the traditional finance market, the Bitcoin market is going to be, the best place to be at.
What do you think about this question? Crypto Pollo says, where's retail? I only see crypto OG taking taking larger positions. When do you think we'll start to see retail FOMO? So I have two thoughts on this. Go ahead. You give it to me first. No, well, I think the first thing is, and we saw this last market too, there is a ton of retail money in the meme coins. There's a lot of it. And I think it took away last time from what Bitcoin was able to do in terms of, how high it went. And I don't know, maybe we will see that this time too. I think what he's more referring to is the search, the Google searches and the, hey, my waiter while I'm at the restaurant is talking to me about Bitcoin. My Uber driver did it, all of that type of real deal FOMO. I think that people that have been anywhere near the crypto space via friends, family, whatever, are the start of that. The people that are asking us questions right now, the people that are giving us a phone call, whatever, we're nowhere near where everybody's talking about crypto. I still think we're probably, this is just a guess, I think we're still till election time before we start getting just the absolute silly stuff starting to happen. But in the meantime,
yeah, a lot of retail still hasn't heard about it, right? A lot of retail is still out there because traditionally in the bull market, right, it takes a lot longer. It's about a year after the halving is when you start to really see the retail, you start to see these doublings, you start hitting new all-time highs. You don't see it so soon after. How much does retail actually pay attention to traditional finance? Zero. They're not paying attention. They're not listening to BlackRock, the announcements of how much Bitcoin they're accumulating. They're not looking at the statistics. Yeah, they might be hearing about Bitcoin going up or Bitcoin going there, But you know, the FOMO hasn't really kicked in just yet. I think the FOMO is starting to kick in a little bit, where I'm seeing some people talk about it, I'm seeing some people bring it up to me, but it's just getting started. It's
Yeah.
just retail has been here this whole time, but now it's an institutional game.
Yep. Kevin says 5-10% Bitcoin dips are nothing. We will get that 20% shakeout before the halving. I won't be surprised to see that, but think about this.
I'm hoping it happens, dude. I want to buy alts a lot cheaper.
A 20% shakeout right now is around, well, let's just say if we hit 75, that'll be a 15K.
I put Bitcoin around 55,000.
Well, it'd be 60 if we were at 75. It'd be a $60,000 Bitcoin. If we're at 72, you're going to be about 56, 57. Like, those are still, think about how attractive those numbers are. I will not be surprised to see that happen. Do not freak out if you're new to the space and you see this massive dump. Just understand that your meme coin positions and a bunch of other stuff that you're tapped into are going to bleed really hard compared to that, which is the other part of the reason why I talk about profit taking strategies in that space.
Yeah, man, a 20% dip for Bitcoin is nothing. Bitcoin traditionally drops 30-40% multiple times throughout a bull run. Bitcoin has not had any big retracement except for the one that we had when we went down to 38,000 from about 48. That was at the very beginning of the ETF launch, and Grayscale just started to unload a ton of Bitcoin. And we've had a massive bounce from there, and we've never really gone back. We've just been climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, which is why I mentioned earlier, some people have been mentioning that Bitcoin has entered a repricing situation right now. We're not really price discovery. We're just being repriced because of the high amount of demand. And meanwhile, the demand stays high, right? Meanwhile, the demand stays high, and BlackRock and Fidelity and these other ETFs continue to eat up all of Grayscale's Bitcoin that's being dumped. Exchanges are holding less than 2 million Bitcoin right now. OTC is pretty much almost dry bone at this point. So the market is only going to keep going up, man. I'm hoping for a 20% pullback. I hope for a 30% pullback. I hope for a 40% pullback, because the altcoins, if Bitcoin pulls out that much, then the altcoins are doubling that amount, which allows you to buy up a ton more altcoins for a lot cheaper, because people will panic sell. A lot of people are here that don't understand what that is, and when they start seeing their bags dropping, they're all going to paper hand, and they're all going to just panic sell at the bottom, not realizing that it's just going to come right back in the bull market.
Yeah. Some people are asking about some very specific tokens and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that right now. The reality is, there's a ton of opportunity to make money on damn near any of this if you are diligent about how you actually attack and take profits. That's really what it comes down to. You can literally be really, really stringent and do it a little bit at a time. You can miss one after the next, but take really, really big risk on, maybe you miss 5 of them in a row, but then one hits. You've got to figure out a strategy that works for you. That's really what it comes down to. So, Crypto fam, we love you. Were you about to say something? Sorry.
I know. That was it.
We love you. We appreciate you for being here. It's a Wednesday. You could have been hanging out anywhere, but you're here with Crypto Wars. Just a reminder, we will give you the confirmation, but Trading Wars is getting ready to start in the next couple weeks. We'll finalize and give you the list on that, give you the exchange update, all the great things, the competition that's happening. You, the people that are watching, are going to be getting involved this season so that you can win to be on the show the following season. Super excited about that. We got a lot of good things happening. Make sure you're here Friday for Flipper Hodl. Shout out to Print Token. They are the ones that are sponsoring the show on Friday. Question everything.
Trust nothing.
And until next time, Hodl.
Like it's hot.
We will see you soon.